Okay, welcome everyone to the self-care student panel on this beautiful active Badger Day in 2021. Um, oh, yep, not muted. First, I just wanted to start off with a land acknowledgement, just to recognize that we are on land that is not historically ours, and to acknowledge the great privilege that we have to operate the student panel on it today. So let's start off. We'll meet the student panelists and learn a little bit about them. I can go ahead and start. I'm going to be moderating today. I'm Matthew Barrett, and I'm currently a fourth year studying civil engineering and construction management from Illinois, great state. I've been working at Recwell for a long time, since my first year on campus at Nielsen Tennis Stadium, and I absolutely love it. Okay, Brittany, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Brittany Williams. I'm a second year student studying business MHR and entrepreneurship. I'm also studying sports communication. I'm actively involved on campus, so I do some work in my organization as a co-president of Cleaning You, and then I also work as a fitness monitor at the NIC. So I'm very passionate about cooking, so I look forward to answering some questions today.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. Lawrence, would you like to go ahead, please?
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Lawrence Ayag, and I'm also an active Badger. I'm a returning adult student, actually, but I went to high school here and middle school here in Madison, so I've been here for quite a while. I've lived all over the world, lived in LA, lived in DC, but somehow I always come back to Madison just because it's so great. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to answering whatever questions we have available.
Thanks, Lawrence. All right, Mars, take it away.
Make sure I'm unmuted. Hi, I'm Mars. My pronouns are they and she. I'm currently in Madison for my Master of Library Science degree. I graduated from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I know, a weird switch to, to go to, the rival school, but I grew up in Wisconsin. And so basically I just moved back to my home state for my graduate program. And I used to work at the QSCC, which is the GSCC equivalent at Twin Cities. And I'm here with you all through the GSCC, which is how I got roped into this. So yeah, that's me.
Great, thanks, Mars. And RC, looked like you hopped on. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, do you guys know how to change the name on the Zoom? Since it's my real name, I just use the nickname to meet with my friends, so I don't know how to change it.
If you hover over your name with like the little hand and click on it, you might be able to, or the three dots.
I click the three dots, but I don't see any option to change name. So, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Yes. Hello guys, sorry for being late. I just get back from recreation center and I forgot my code of my locker, so I just have to wait there for like 30 minutes to wait for the staff to open it for me. So I'm a little bit late. Yeah. And I'm Ryan, and I'm from China, currently a sophomore majoring in mathematics and neurobiology. Yeah. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Okay, so we'll just get right into the questions. The first one is for Brittany and Mars. Brittany, you can go first and then Mars will follow. How do you practice self-care and how has it changed during the pandemic?
So for myself, typically I take days out of the week where I'll take social media breaks, and then practice like skincare practices. So that means like exfoliating or doing like a mask or whatever. Typically turn on like a Netflix show. That's definitely relaxing, and then just kind of hanging out with friends and family when I can. And then just how it's changed, I think just taking time to do more self-reflection. So definitely journaling and trying out new products that like may help vitamin D, like vitamins, stuff like that. And then although I haven't been able to see my family much or friends much, I definitely have tried to connect over Zoom. So we do like family Zoom nights. So Sundays are usually the days where I can take a break from homework and connect with them.
Awesome, thanks. Mars, how about you?
So normally, I'm a pretty social person. I get my energy from being with friends. So obviously, that's something that I had to change. Um, so what I do normally is every week, the GSCC has a Discord, and so we host gaming time and hangout time Friday nights, where we usually play Jackbox games or like Among Us and stuff like that. It's really fun, and like helps get that kind of energy back because obviously being alone is sucky. And of course, I spend a lot of time with my roommate, who is absolutely lovely, and my cat. That hasn't changed, but I try and do as much socialization online that I can. But at the same time, echoing what Brittany said, I do, like, since the pandemic started, I've pretty much cut out a couple of the regular social media things that I used to do. So, like, I haven't been on Instagram in like months, maybe, possibly longer, like a year. And really, I just cut that usage down a lot, and that's been pretty nice because a lot of shenanigans goes on on the internet, and sometimes it's best just to not engage. So taking that kind of balance of socializing online, but also recognizing my own limits.
That is some amazing self-control. Thank you, Mars and Brittany.
You muted yourself, Matthew.
Oh, that's awk. Okay, as I was saying to myself, apparently, the next question is for Rye, and it is, what resources on campus do you utilize for support or to practice self-care / better yourself?
Okay. I think there's tons of ways that you can keep self-care on campus, and I can say it can divide it by like two kinds. First is physical health, self-health. To me, I just, usually go to the gym to do workout to keep like my body strong, to keep my energy active, like Nick Recreation Center, and it also offers a lot of lessons for introduction to some gym technicals, to some strength building. Like, so if you are pretty new about it, so you don't even need to worry about like you don't know how to start to do the gym. So I think this is a good resources on campus you can utilize to keep self healthy. Like, and also I have another part for mental health. I think university health service is really good place to keep mental health. Like, it offer like no cost, like open, safe, and confidential environments to help you through some issues that may interfere with your development and well-being. And and it can also help you deal with like the stress management, something like that. Yeah, I think this is a main resources I use to keep myself healthy, active. Yeah, yes, that's all my thinking.
Thanks, Rye.
I can
Okay.
add a little bit to that as well, if you guys don't
Oh,
mind.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to kind of follow up what Ryan was saying. You guys obviously know about the new Nicholas gym. It's great. It's big and fancy. But what's also really
Yeah.
neat about it is the equipment there is so new and so fresh that it still has how to do signs on them.
Yeah,
And even if
absolutely.
you're such a new person at the gym, it's totally fine because you can still show up and at least try to read and try to implement some of the movements within those workouts, and anybody can do it. And I think it just takes a little bit of step forward out of your comfort zone, but when you step out of your comfort zone, it goes a long way. So I really enjoyed about that as a Nicholas gym, the new gym, and as well as the Healthy Minds program. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but I was actually part of the Healthy Minds program last year, and I want to be continuing involved with it. But they have a great app that helps you meditate and really find different ways to grow your mental awareness within your own space. And it's all just through your phone. So nobody has an excuse to, oh, it's too far, it's too this or what, but it's all free and it's a great resource on campus, as well as what Ryan was saying, the UHS, great resource as well on campus. And I really enjoy the Student Activity Center. I don't know if people go there often, but it's not just should be a place where you need to do work. It could also just be a place where you just hang out and just get away from your home, especially now in a time where home is work. I sometimes go to the Student Activity Center and just go there, read a book or listen to audiobooks and just stare outside or go for a walk. I think, we're very lucky and fortunate that campus is a walkable distance through all the different buildings. So I think that people could definitely take advantage of the resources around here.
That was great insight. Thanks, Lawrence. Okay. Oh, I gotta make sure I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm not muted. All right. So the next question is for everyone, and we can just go down the line like we did introductions, and we'll go Brittany, Lawrence, Rye, and Mars. What holistically does being an active badger mean to you? And Brittany, you can lead us off.
So for me, being an active badger just kind of means not necessarily mean going full out on like activity, but incorporating like stationary movement to your day. So if that means taking a walk or doing stretches between Zoom classes or between commercials. I definitely feel like that allows you to try to be active since like we're always staring at our computer screens. And then also taking care of your mental health. I know as students specifically, we're always consumed with like electronics, homework, just trying to do everything, but we need to focus on ourselves. And so that means that you need to take time to find things that you enjoy. So typically, I ask myself, does this bring me joy still? And if it doesn't bring me joy, then I find something that does, or I try to transition and figure out what is that thing that used to make me happy and what has changed since then.
That's awesome. Thanks, Brittany. Okay, next we'll go to Lawrence.
Yeah, definitely. Being an active badger, I think, is being proactive around you, whether that's mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. I think that's really encompasses of, really being proactive in whatever you do in life. And one of the biggest things I actually learned through the pandemic is I have so much to learn from everybody, and I sometimes forget that. I'm 26 now, and I'm not the typical 18 to 22 going to college, and I'm always thinking like, oh, I'm fine, I'm older, but actually the more I stay younger or stay around the younger generation, I get to learn more and more and more. And I think being an active badger is willing to be able to learn and willing to be able to grow. And there's so much people who have so much knowledge about fitness or mental health that those are the resources on campus. We are the resources, each other. And don't be shy, or don't be what does it say, not necessarily shy, but it's okay to ask for help. And that's part of being an active badger, that it's okay that sometimes it's not as easy as it should be. And that's a great part about being an active badger, and if anything, it's only going to make you stronger as well.
That's so true. Thanks, Lawrence. Okay, Rye.
Yeah, to me, being an active badger, and as we all know, the badger is a really hard-working animal, right? So it just stays on its own goal, its own task, and until it dies. So I think this is the spirit we should learn from. Like, we should just stick to our goal and see through to completion. And like, we should So we should work hard and at the same time live hard, like during such a pandemic period, just like a badger, active badger. Yeah.
Thanks, Rai. Okay, Mars, why don't you finish us off here?
Yeah. So what other people said, definitely agree. And for me, definitely there are two parts of health that I focus on. Physical part, which has definitely become different since the pandemic happened. For me, that means I got Just Dance and doing that with my roommate, and also some weights that I got online because, like, for me, I live exactly opposite from where any rec centers are. So, and I don't really feel comfortable being on a bus with people. So I just do it at home. And obviously, there's the mental health portion of things too, which for me is really important now that with all the isolation and stuff. It's really important to recognize your own patterns, recognize where you can ask for help. As Lawrence was saying, it's really important to ask for help and recognize your own limitations because we can't do everything. Like, people are there to help you, especially people in administration and the university are their whole job is there to help you. So for me, being an active badger, definitely there's the physical part, but also the mental health aspect as well, and asking for help, which is hard. It's really hard, I'm not going to lie, but it's really important. And once you get accommodations and you get that comfort, it makes everything so much better, I assure you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mars, and thank you everyone for your unique and insightful answers. It was great to hear from you all. And so next, the next question will be directed towards Brittany and Lawrence, and Brittany can go first. How do you connect with others and show compassion best in a virtual world?
So for me, I think I can speak for like everybody. Everybody's sick of this virtual world, whatever. But I think the biggest thing I've taken away from being on Zoom and like Teams and everything is like communication and how much we lacked that before the pandemic and then now how much it's improved. I think I've seen more communication and understanding about people's situations because they feel like they're able to share that. So, say something's going on in their personal life, they'll be like, "Oh, I can't make it to this call, but can you either record the meeting or inform me so we can connect at a later time?" So, I feel like just being able to show compassion, like you never know what someone's going through or the hardships that they may be facing. So, I think being able to utilize this virtual setting now has definitely made communication a bit easier, but also challenging for some.
Thanks, Brittany. All right, Lawrence, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I can definitely follow up on that. I'm just kind of tying it back to what Mars said earlier in regards to uh, being a holistic badger and all, asking for help and all that. But when it comes to connecting with others, I think really kind of comes down to putting your distractions away. I think especially being at home, there's so much things that are just always taking my attention left and right. But when I'm here with you guys, it's like, how was your day? It's just really just taking the effort to really be like, hey, how's it going? And really engage conversation that's just not one way, and make it fun. It's in this class, I'm in this MHR class, and I didn't know any of the people in the group. So we're always so timid and whatnot, which is okay because it's normal. But just make it fun, ask each other questions, find different hobbies that you might be into and share those things, because I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a second, you guys are also into that? Like, no way. So am I. So you'd be really surprised on how far technology can take us, because when I was growing up, the internet wasn't really a thing yet. You know, we had to plug it through the wall, and it was like a dial-up at the moment. So we didn't really have all the FaceTimes and all that. But now it's really great to be able to really engage in these conversations. And the thing, and people, it's okay to be shy, and it's okay to be timid and all that. But it's like you also just got to take the step forward in a way to kind of allow yourself to be back out there because it's healthy, and everyone's doing it. It's not just you. And when people, you know, are a little nervous about it, just know that everyone's feeling the same way, and you're not alone. And I think that's the biggest thing moving forward about showing compassion and, you know, connecting, is that you aren't alone through this, and we should never forget that we aren't alone in the pandemic, especially.
That's great. Thank you so much, Lawrence and Brittany. Okay, so the next question we have is for Lawrence going solo. What are some things you feel campus could do a better job of offering or promoting to provide wellness to everyone?
Yeah, I can definitely take this one. So I've been in fitness or been working out since I was 14 years old in high school. I was really one of those guys. I really wanted to keep up with my friends, and then puberty hit, and then everyone got taller and bigger, and I couldn't keep up with them, which is fine. It's fine. It's all fine. But I think what could really help, especially, you know, new people to the gym or fitness or mental health, is showing them the ropes. I think that memberships, you know, coaching and all that costs so much money, or, you know, it costs some sort of funds that you kind of want to push it away. I've thought about hosting my own group workouts. You know, by no means am I a nutritionist, by no means am I a workout guru, but I do know some things, you know, and I think that just from there, I think you can create so many subgroups, even if it's not official. And I think we should, especially at the university level, I think the university has fundings and money. And now we should really start providing resources without putting all these walls and barriers over the money, because we're all students. You know, none of us are rich and famous at this point of our lives. And I think the barrier really comes from money. And so if we can create more programs that you know, breaks the walls and any uncomfortableness between those walls, I think that can be a really big key part of bridging the gap of health and mental health and everything all around. So I hope that we can get more programs like that, whether that's a large group of people, you know, being coached by one individual, or you know, private coaching. But I think there needs to be more a program dedicated towards bigger groups of people.
Thanks, Lawrence. Okay, next we have a question for Brittany. Where and how do you find balance between your social, educational, physical, and emotional needs? Kind of a big one, but go for it.
So yeah, definitely a big question. I think for me, I definitely struggled last semester trying to find balance. I think being remote completely, it was really difficult. And then I'm trying to think back if the NIC was kind of like in the process of being open to like that transition. So I think being physical, it was easier because like it was still nice outside, it was warm. Being able to walk by the lake in State Street and stuff like that, that was like kind of like my physical feature. Um, but for socially, educational and emotional, I think it still was a struggle with getting used to like communicating and not having as many in-person interactions. So like educational, school wise, it's harder to learn certain subjects like math and sciences. Trying to do labs was definitely difficult. Um, but I just want to reiterate, like asking for help, like it might be embarrassing to you, but it definitely will pay off in the long run, getting the help now rather than later, because it could put you behind and then you're going to be stuck in a situation where um, you'll be upset with yourself, but then you'll also be upset with other people, because it's like you can't necessarily only blame yourself, but those other people as well. So, yeah.
Thank you, Brittany. Okay, so our next question is for Rye and Mars, and Rye can go first. What place, person, or thing on campus brings you the most joy? That's a good one. Are you there, Rye?
Who go first? Me go first? Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank
I
you.
thought Smart go first. Yeah. Yeah, I can also divide this question into two parts, like before pandemic and after pandemic. Like before pandemic, my favorite place must be the outdoor office of United Medicine, since I do a lot of outdoor sports like climbing, skiing, snowboarding, like hiking. I don't know whether hiking can be a sport, but yeah, and just go to the outdoor office to chill with my friend, to find some guys to hang out with, to do some climbing, and in the winter do some snowboarding and enjoy the winter time. Yeah, but yeah, after pandemic, the office didn't hold any like in-person meeting or like space. So after pandemic, I can see my favorite place must be Basecamp Hill, since I usually hang out with my friend there to play some football, and or just doing homework together and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the warm weather. Yeah, it's really good during the pandemic period. You can also study and also have a good time with your friends. Yeah.
Thanks, Rye. How about you,
Mhm.
Mars?
I also have a two-part answer to this. So there's a strip along the lake that is Helen C. White, which is where the library science program is. It's on the fourth floor. It's lovely. And Memorial Union and the Red Gym. So that strip basically was my home last year. I just hop from building to building, hang out with my coworkers and my friends from my program. And it's lovely and I miss it a lot. And I'm ready for when it's safe to do that again. But definitely 100% my most favorite person, I guess, is my cat. Her name is Bitsy. She is very chunky. She's absolutely lovely and is asleep with my roommate right now. So I would show you, but I don't want to be rude and wake her up. But I think it's important to find joy in whatever you can. And definitely who you're living with is really important. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was actually the last question that we had for the night. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us and thank all of our wonderful panelists for the great, thoughtful answers that they shared. I think we can all learn from that. It was great to spend some time with everyone on Active Badger Day 2021.
Can I ask one question? I'm sorry, I know you are all on volunteer time, so I'm sorry about
Fire
this.
away, Abby.
Thank you. As a programmer, so as a person who helps oversee some wellness programs on campus, we did a lot of survey and data collection before the pandemic on students' wants and needs around wellness services. Part of me kind of thinks I need to throw that out the window and start over. But I'm curious to know how you think students' needs have changed since the pandemic, from more mental health support or more space, or what do you think students are going to need the most when we transition back to more in-person? Kind of, I don't want to say quote normal, because what's the new normal now, right? So basically my question is, what do you think the biggest needs will be now after the pandemic for specifically college students? And anyone can answer.
I'll share a little bit since I was moderating the whole time.
Absolutely.
I think, well, at least for me, one of the biggest things that is going to be important coming out is just encouragement to kind of get back into a more social and like personable routine. It can be really comfortable to just hang out in your apartment or your house, for hours on end, but then you kind of get restless and feel a little stuck, and that kind of makes you not want to go anywhere a little more. So I think, it's nice when you have someone that kind of tugs on your shirt a little bit and says, "Come on, let's go do this." But I think that's one place where it would be helpful for the university to just offer more encouragement. I don't know if that would come in the forms of like different groups on campus or what, or programming, but just kind of that extra voice that's saying, like, come on and join us, come on and get out of your apartment, like it's okay again to do that. So that's just what I think about the subject.
I can follow up a little bit on that too, Abby. I think that, it's great that summer's coming around, so there's gonna be a lot of exciting things. And if there's a way that university can promote social events towards, around the summertime, and we have the union, we have the lake, we have so many different ways to really be outside and get involved with each other. And I feel like if people, or if the university hosts events, it allows people to be like, hey man, or hey, you heard there, you want to come with me, or do you want to go do this event with me? So it just allows us to naturally start going back into social roles and social groups, because for so long, I'm by myself. I live with my younger brother, so it's just like I haven't really seen people much. So I don't really know how to act as much, and so it's just a little bit, here and there that we kind of have to work on as society. But I think promoting events through the university, because you guys, or the university has that capacity to, and I think that on the summertime especially, why lack on the program in the summer just because there's no students here? That's not an excuse. I think that throughout the year, I think there could be pushing and programming all year long, even if there's students or not students on campus.
Does anyone else want to share? No pressure either if you don't want to. You've all talked a lot too.
No one has any pressing thoughts. I have a couple. I think definitely everyone's been isolated, and that's not been great for mental health. And I don't think that people in general have been as attentive to their mental health. I feel like a lot of people, either you have the choice between your schoolwork and mental health work. And a lot of people chose schoolwork, and that's totally understandable. No judgment on that, but I think once things get back to normal, it's going to be important to unpack what different habits and mental thought processes that people built during this past year, start unpacking those, start getting back into healthy routines again, because I feel like at least a lot of people that I know, there was that choice continually, and if you don't have a lot of energy, you can only choose one. And so once things get back to normal, I guess, promoting the different mental health things that the university has, definitely trying to get over the stigma around all of that. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't know about going into McBurney because like I don't really need it. You can use it though. Like, don't gatekeep yourself. Try and get over that stigma. Anything that the university can do to help that, I think is really good. Yeah.
I actually want to add this too, Abby, while I'm thinking about it now. I've been thinking about this just because I want to try to continue creating new programs on campus. I've been really thinking about nutrition. It's a really big thing that we overlook on. And I just don't see that easy access for nutrition, especially for students. Like I said, I've been fortunate just because I've been in it for so long, where I've kind of taught myself a little bit, but it'd be so great for, people who aren't really familiar to understand carbs, proteins, and all these different ways to feed their body. And it's just not an easy thing that you can just look up on. But I know we have so many smart people. We're the top university for research. there's no excuse on how we should provide for our students because we have all the knowledge and the intel here. So I think just adding into that as well, a nutritional program that's cost-free or something similar, would be really great to students to utilize moving forward.
Just to add to that, we do have plans as we expand to the new NAT to add nutritional services and to have a dietitian on staff to really help with those lifestyle skills. Because as you said, they are not really easily accessed on campus. For you all to know, there's only 2 full-time dietitians on our campus. So we have one in UHS who really focuses on like eating disorders. And then we have another one in the residence halls that only focuses on residents. So they really only serve the 6,000, 7,000 students, and they really focus on food allergies within the dining halls. So that's all we really have on campus. So we have really found that there is that huge gap really needs to be served. And so we have plans to do that. We're just trying to find the money for it. But we have seen that there is a need and students really want that. So I'm glad that I'm hearing that still. But it is something that we are definitely planning on, and we know that students would really, really gravitate towards that.
To kind of, caveat off that actually as well, I know that there's so many motivated students on campus who are very expertise in whatever they're doing. For example, there's people who are instructors at camps, cycle bar, all these places. And I know at the university's liability, they can't just, easily be like, oh, hey, you're going to teach this class or, but I think it'd also be a really great way for students to gain more experience on a sub level with peers. And if that means that like, it's off the books and we're all meeting and hanging out but we're learning things because somebody is able to teach us these things. It doesn't really require so much faculty, in a way as well. So I don't really know how that goes about because obviously there's a lot of gray areas in between liability and people getting hurt and whatnot. But it'd be really great to create subgroups within what people's interests are, because that can also just bring and elevate everybody else towards that as well. Because I understand that resources is one of the hardest things that we're dealing with on campus.
Well, I don't want to take too much of your time because I feel like I've dictated some of this, but I really, really just want to thank you all for taking the time out of this. I found it super beneficial. You all are so passionate and so involved. I'm so thankful to have you all as students at UW. You inspire me. So thank you so much. And then as Cece talked about before, we have t-shirts for you all. So if you want to connect with Cece, also you, Matthew, don't just because you were the moderator, big important part. So please email Cece and she will connect you with that t-shirt. Am I missing anything else, Cece, to wrap up?
No, I think that's all. I will echo what Abby said. Like, thank you all so much for chatting and taking some time out of your Thursday evening. I know we're in the heart of midterms, so I appreciate you all chatting and hanging out with us today. I'm going to stop this recording.